All right, in this video, we're going to look at how we can use Google Forms as quizzes within Google Classroom. So I'm in my Google Classroom here, but one of the things that's important when you're working with Google Classroom is you want to start all of your actual assignment creation in Google Drive. So I'm going to switch over to Google Drive, and you can really create your files or resources that you want your students to use in anywhere in your Google Drive, but Google Classroom does provide a classroom folder already built in. So in this case, I'm just going to go here, open up my classroom folder, and I'm going to select the folder that Google Classroom created, again with the name of my class. In this case, it's just called the Tech-Terrain Sandbox. So I'm going to come in here, and I can come to New, and then since I'm working with Google Forms, I'm going to drop down to the More field, and I can choose. If I just click Google Forms right here, it will just give me a blank form. Or I can come here and I can choose to this little arrow over here, and then I can choose to pick a template. So in this case, then Google does give you the option to create a blank quiz. So if you wanted to just start out automatically being in quiz mode, you could do that. In this situation, I'm just gonna close this out and just do New, and then click Google Forms right here and create basically a completely blank form without the quiz feature. And I'll show you how to enable the quizzing feature as we go. So this is my blank form, and I'm going to call this Math Fractions, and then it automatically changed the title up here, and then basically I can just start building the questions in here. So I'll pause the video, and I'm going to build the questions that I want to have in here. All right, so now I've filled out the form and created essentially like the quiz here. So I just use this title button to make this bar across here, giving them instructions on what they're supposed to do for these questions. And then I made another title here to explain what they should do for these. And then I chose the option of short answer text. So in this case, the students will actually have to type in an answer with no prompts. Now I could come over here and change this to multiple choice and let them select that way, and that would be another option. Now what I want to do is show you how to enable the quiz feature. So in this case, you come up to the gear icon, the settings, and you come to the quizzes tab, and then just turn on make this a quiz. So now what I can do, now that it's a quiz, I can come to each question, and I can click on answer key, and then I can type in a correct answer, and 2 and space, and then 2 and a slash, and then a third, and I say mark all other answers as incorrect. So the students would have to type that exactly. If they even type one extra space in between there or anything, then they will get it wrong. That's the way that works, and I can choose this, and then it will even say below that, for me as the teacher creating it, this is the correct answer, and then it will give them 1 point. I could change the number of points. I could give specific feedback. This would be pretty much generic to go to all students, just like, please try again or something like that. Or I could actually even give them a link to like a video to go watch about how to do that particular problem if I wanted to get that advanced. And then basically I'm not gonna go through that and do that on all of these. That just kind of gives the general thing. And pretty much at this point, I think we're pretty close to being done with what I want this quiz to look like to my students. One thing, this eyeball up here is the preview window. So if you want to see how it will look to your students, this is how it would look to your students. And I could actually submit this right now. I would be submitting a quiz to myself, which wouldn't really make sense, but that's what it looks like. So you can kind of see the student view there. I'm going to close that out. And so I'm going to actually just close the whole thing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm in my Google Classroom here, and I'm just going to hit the plus, and I'm going to do create new assignment. I'm going to call it Math Fractions. And then I'm going to click the Google Drive icon here, and I'm going to go into my Google Drive and select that specific form. So since I was just working on it, it's under recent, but I could browse through my drive and go get it. I'm just going to double click this. And then this checkbox right here, enable grade importing. So that's pretty awesome. So since we set up the form to be graded as a quiz, then Google can pull those grades into the gradebook. I could assign due dates or topics or any of these other features that are available for Google Classroom. In this case, that's really all I need to do. I've given it a title, I've pulled in the document, This way, it's important to go through the Google Drive button here and not use the link. If you do it through the link, it won't enable the grade importing. And I'm just going to click Assign. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to one of the students in the class and show you what it looks like from a student view. So in this case, let's see here. I'm going to be logged in as Sam, and I'm going to come to the class, and then Sam sees that this assignment has just been posted right here. I can click Open, or I can click Math Fractions right here, and it takes me to this. So then Sam would just go through and answer all the questions. So let's try to get this one correct. 2 space 2/5. And on this one, we're going to get it wrong on purpose. 2 space 2233. And I'm just going to put in random numbers for the rest of these and submit. And then the assignment has automatically been marked in as done. So if back here in Google Classroom, you can see that I have a checkbox meaning, hey, I've completed this. So I can actually view my score here. So this is what Sam would see. In this case, we didn't provide, any of the answers to these, so it just marked them all wrong. But you can see that I got this one right and I got this one wrong, and it tells me what the correct answer is. So that's what the student would see. And then if we switch back to the teacher view, refresh my page, and I can go to Math Fractions. I can see that one of my students has completed it and 3 of them have not. I'm just going to click on it. And I can come in here and click Import Grades. All right, so then you can see that Sam's grade was the 1 out of 10. And so that's what he got. If all the students had taken it, it would have imported all those grades. I can just check the box. Actually, in this case, I'll just check it for Sam and return the assignment to him. And now that's been graded for him and pretty much all set. Now, one other thing that we can do is I can go back to the actual form from my Google Drive, open it up here, and I can go to the Responses tab. And there's some settings I can change here. So accepting responses, I probably want that on, otherwise they won't be able to take it. I can hit the 3 dots here and get email notifications. Now, for if you have a bunch of students doing that, probably not necessary. But an important one right here is called Create Spreadsheet. Now, I like to make sure that I kind of do this, creating the spreadsheet at the end after I'm pretty confident that I have all my questions lined up properly. Because if I create the spreadsheet earlier and then I add more questions, it can get out of order. But I think this is pretty good the way it is. So I'm just going to click the green dot here. It's just going to create a new spreadsheet. And so it's thinking about that. And then it just added, if I go back to my Google Drive, in the same folder that I had the math worksheets, that's where it put it. So then I can come in here and it just shows every time that student has, that anybody has taken it. In this case, obviously only one student has taken it. But there's all the grades. As many people take it, it would give me the timestamp of when they took it, the email address, and the score that they got, as well as the answers that they put in for each question. That's basically how the process works to pull in grades into your Google Classroom that way. So the main things would just be hit the plus button, create an assignment, go find the form that you wanted to use, assign it, enable the grade importing, and pull the grades in after the students click on it. Thanks.